Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. Here on the Bitcoin chart, on the daily chart, we're still holding a higher low. The price has, after breaking out of this wedge pattern to the downside, the price has not broken below the March lows. So we're still holding a higher low. It is also interesting to see that the market is holding above the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement. That's at $82,090. And the price actually reacted to that level. And the price reacted to the trend line when retesting it, even though that is probably more like the 38.2 retracement that caused the reaction there, because there hasn't really been an aggressive reaction to the trend line itself. The red one, the descending trend line. So it remains my view that we only have a 3-wave move up from the March low. That does not give us high confidence that a substantial low has actually formed on the 11th of March, when the price bottomed locally around $76,700. So we would still need further evidence before confirming that indeed this larger correction, which I've labeled wave 4 in the white scenario, that this larger correction that started in December is actually over. Okay, so we don't have that confirmation yet. And the move to the upside was corrective. That leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So what can, for example, happen is the following. If the price holds a higher low and there are critical support levels that we're watching on the smaller time frame, so if those micro support levels are holding, which we're going to take a look at in a minute, then the market could easily do this. A, B, C. And that could be a larger B wave in red. And if we see any impulse to the downside from there, like a wave 1, then we get a wave 2. Okay, so if we get 5 waves down in this move, and the rally afterwards is corrective, so it's forming a lower high, that would be a good indication that the move to the downside, maybe even to new lows, has started. I'm talking about new lows below the March low, and then also probably that a bear market has begun. So if we rally into the resistance and it forms a 3-wave move, a smaller 3-wave move can always lead to a larger 3-wave move. If we get a larger 3-wave move into resistance, maybe to the golden ratio level here around 94.5K or 100K, and then see a 5-wave move down, that could be a good indication a substantial top has formed. However, as mentioned before, as long as pullbacks remain in 3 waves, we can keep the door open for higher. And even if we see a larger 3-wave move up, if the pullback afterwards remains a 3-wave move, it remains a setup for higher prices. So you see, it is tricky. It is tricky because we're dealing only with 3-wave movements, so we don't have the luxury of working with 5-wave patterns. It's the same thing that I'm watching currently on the S&P 500 chart, the NASDAQ chart, and the stock indexes overall. They're moving in 3-wave patterns, so we don't have the luxury of working with very, very clear patterns at the moment in the current price region. So Bitcoin is showing the same issue. It's the same pattern, basically. So I think on the daily time frame, the main question is, have we actually already topped in the bull market? Is the bull market already over? And someone commented yesterday below a video and he said, the signals for the bear market are there. And I said that I agree. Okay, now that might shock some of you, but I already mentioned in November, December that I said, look, it is possible the top is in. I wouldn't do that if there weren't any signs. But I also said I won't be able to confirm it until we break below 69K. And it's not my personal opinion that the bull market has topped. It could have. Probabilities are high for that, okay? I didn't say that in September or October last year, but this year was a clear warning, and this still stands. We just haven't seen any confirmation for it, so I still lean towards another high. That's been very consistent about that communication over the last few months. So yeah, I agree. Signals are there, the signs are there. It's just that there are not yet enough for me to rule out another high. So I still prefer another high. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame. We have some action here, at least a little bit, at least a bit of a relief rally. Here you can see actually the pattern from the low on the 11th of March, and it shows again that this is just a 3-wave move up, which I've labeled wave A. The move down is a wave B. So it's a 3-wave move at the moment. Even with one more low, I can call it a 3-wave move potentially. But if it then forms another lower high and another lower low, it turns into a 5-wave move and possibly will target the 73 to 75k area. For now, I'm watching if the market can generate support, find support in this region between 79k and 82.5k. Even with one more low, that could be a B wave pullback after we had a 3-wave A wave rally. It's just important, I mentioned to you, we have critical support levels to watch, and we're still holding support. So we've got 79,120 to 82,513 as support. And the price reacted, and we're now moving, I don't even want to call that a rally, it's a small relief rally maybe. The price is moving towards first resistance between 83,950 and $84,660. Standard resistance. So we are watching how the market reacts to that resistance area. Any break above it in 5 waves could suggest that a more substantial low has already formed, so that we have a 5-wave move already in. Yeah. And then if we get 5 waves above resistance, we can watch for the next pullback to be maybe corrective and then lead to another rally higher. So that would be the first signal that a low is in. 5 waves up above resistance. For now, we only have 3 waves and we're below resistance. So nothing to get too excited about. Yeah, all stay in your seats. Stay seated. Don't vibrate out of your chairs yet. It's just a little bit of a relief rally for now. But yeah, this is obviously the area where we're watching again for a reversal. Yesterday it seemed like we should get another low. That happened. So now this bounce, not unexpected, and one more low seems likely for now. So we'll see if that happens. However, until we get a break even from down here above resistance, there's no indication a low is in. We will adjust resistance along the way, of course. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, today, 5 p.m. UTC, our large member live stream, if you're interested. It happens every week. Join the membership, and we typically cover, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 coins in these live streams, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Always depends. They are very intense because there are lots of requests typically, but it's a great way to communicate with you guys. So if you're interested, ask questions, request coins. They're not guaranteed to be covered because they're usually too many. I think last time we actually covered them all, which is quite cool. But it was quiet. So check it out if you're interested. The link to the membership, obviously, in the description. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.